Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my layer of action figures. Today we're going to be having a look at another G.I. Joe Classified series, and to continue with the rock and roll theme, we're going to be reviewing Darklon from the Iron Grenadiers. So, of course, this is my mint in box figure over here. So, of course, this figure came out in 2025, and the suggested retail price for this figure is $24.99. But sadly, Hasbro has decided to change it and has bumped it up to €27.99. Now, if you're in Europe, you're going to be paying this figure €29.99. So the prices did not change. Here's number 155 in the G.I. Joe Classified Series collection. As you can see, there's the detailing of the boxes with legalese and a lot of blah blah. As you can see, he is standing with some Iron Grenadiers and some Iron Grenadier bats over here. So again, we're having a look at the side of the box with this kind of QR code who brings you to some kind of weird website. And over here is some more information about the figure itself. So now that we have had a look at the box, let's talk a bit history about this figure. So, history of this figure. So, sadly, I was unable to locate my figure that I had back in the days. So, this figure originally came out in 1989, and he was with a vehicle called the Vader. I'm not going to say it was something very interesting. It was a bit gold painted because, of course, he's part of the Iron Grenadiers. So you will have the picture up on the side where my hand is, or you won't see my hand, and that is the vehicle. So I picked up the picture on yojo.com. So yeah, as you can see, the figure itself is kind of not much interesting, and the fact that it was not that much interesting, we didn't get much about it in the G.I. Joe 25th anniversary. So you have the first one came out in 2012, and that was an exclusive for a show. I think I do have it somewhere in the storage. I know that I have Sergeant Major Duncan that was with him. So of course you can see also a picture over here, and then you have the 2017 release of the G.I. Joe Club version of this figure. I know I did not pick up that figure at all. Like I said, not much of a fan about this figure when he came out, and I didn't think that he was anything special in the 25th anniversary line. So, without further ado, let's jump into what we get in this box. So, of course, we have the figure. We do have a sword, the backpack for the sword, we have an extra head sculpt, we have his potato gun over here, potato launcher gun I'm going to call it, then we have a dagger, and then we have a revolver over here. As you can see, the figure is pretty well detailed and does have a bit of some similarity with the original figure that came out in 1989. Now, the only big difference that was with the 1989 figure is over here you can see he does have some grenades, like 40mm frag grenades. Then we have a little part to put the little dagger in. As you can see, it's nicely detailed. But on the original one, these were regular grenades. We have some pouches over here for I don't know which weapon, because he doesn't have it. Those pouches would have been nice for some other figures. Then over here we have a little piece for the revolver, and of course we do have the face. Now the face is going to be very hard to look, but he seems to have a bit red eyes, like if he's some kind of transformed reptile. So yeah, it's a bit weird that they decided to go with that. Otherwise, the mask is pretty basic over here. And what we're going to do straight away, we're going to go on to the second head that is really specific to this figure over here. So as you can see, he also has some red eyes. Looks like something inspired by Iron Maiden or Kiss, with the tongue sticking out. I don't know if this is an homage that they wanted to do, because he is kind of related to Destro. So if this is some kind of mask that he would wear, but not fully wear mask. But yeah, it's an interesting add-on Nothing really spectacular. I don't know which one I prefer, the red-eyed kind of lizard man or this one. A bit hard to say, as you can see over here. So I'm going to remove this head and we're going to go back to the original head. Then we have his gun over here. As you can see, this is also a gun who is highly inspired and looks exactly like the one we had back in the day. Of course, going to look at the revolver over here. It's nothing much special. I don't think this one was ever used. Oh yeah, maybe with no, would be mistaken. No, this is a brand new one. Then we're going to be having a look at the dagger itself. This does remind you some kind of video game dagger. Then we have the sword carrier over here. I do like the details that went into over here. They really did some pretty nice detailing over here. And then over here we have his broadsword, because this looks like something taken from the Highlander movie. There would be some little spikes sticking out over here. You would really believe that this is the Kurgan's weapon. As you can see, they did some pretty nice, really nice detailing on the figure over here. So now that we have had a closer look at the figure, let's dive into what are my final thoughts about this figure. Do I think it's a collectible item? So while I'm going to be gearing up this figure, I'm going to tell you if I believe this is a collectible item. So I do not really believe that this is going to be any kind of collectible item. I don't really think that this figure was anything special, and I don't remember many people talking about this figure as being something really interesting. And the fact that it's gone up with the tariff new prices, I don't know if it's going to be selling that much, and maybe will be going out in clearance. If you want to still purchase it, you can still purchase it for $24.99 on Amazon does have it, so yeah, you can go over there and pick it up. Or if you want to pay a bit more money, then you can get it also from Hasbro Pulse, because this figure is still available. And as I said, I really don't believe this is going to be a collectible item. So for my final thoughts, I'm going to give this guy a little spin. So let's have a look at him spinning a while. So for my final thoughts and my note out of 10 for this figure, while he's going to be giving a little spin, as you can admire him, I thought it would be cool to put the Colt Slither box behind because of the Iron Maiden / Kiss head over there that he's holding. He is highly inspired by Shakespeare talking to the skull. So as you can see, he is spinning around, and I'm going to be giving you my final thoughts before the note. Now, again, this figure is basically nothing special. Now, I find him interesting because he's part of the Iron Grenadiers, so all the looks about the figure are okay for me, because Cobra was always more extravaganza on the way that they were dressing, the colors, the other stuff, because of course this doesn't make it any military improved. The 25th anniversary did had some interesting ideas that they did with it, but again, was not much interested picking it up, or the G.I. Joe Club one. But when I'm looking at this, I don't see any major improvements. And also there's a lot of stuff that is not logic with the figure. You have a gun over here who seems to be some kind of Gatling gun who sends darts, but then you're going to be putting 40mm frag grenades on his belt, like if there would be something, or some flares. I don't know what it is, but he does not have a gun to go with it, so that is pretty ridiculous. Would have liked to see something a bit better. It would be hard to improve this figure, but really not enjoying this figure that much. I like the sword, I like some of the other gimmicks. I would have liked something else for the Classified series line, some kind of more reinventive about the figure than doing some kind of cut and paste of the original one. I understand that they went with a different head. There's a few things that I think could have been done better. And for that reason, I'm going to be giving this figure a 6 out of 10 as a final note. So Let me know if you agree with me. Did you have this figure when you were a kid, or did you buy it later on? Are you a fan of the Iron Grenadiers? Let me know in the comments and let's start a conversation. So that's going to be it for the review of my G.I. Joe Classified Dark Lawn Iron Grenadier from the Classified series. If you like this kind of videos, please leave a like, share, comment in the section, subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. Share the video, that also does help out a lot. If you want to go and check out my Facebook page, Instagram page, the links will be in the description. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!